I'm Josh with Waupaca Community Media, and we are back with our update, and we'll start it out. It is the end of the school year, and we're recording this on Wednesday, which means it's the last day for students. Ron, welcome to the end of the school year.
Yeah, it's been a great year, Josh. We're happy. I know our kids are very happy. They've been counting the days down. I really haven't, but
I bet you the staff is too.
the staff, I'm sure they're very happy. Today's the last day with kids. Tomorrow's the last day with staff. And but summer school starts on Monday. So there's no break there. But yeah, it's been a great year, and I just really like to thank our community. I'm honored to be able to serve our community and feel advantaged to be able to support and serve your students, our parents, students, and really all of us, the parents, the staff, the community members, businesses. We have all a vested interest in our schools, and the health and success of our school district is directly tied to the health and success of our community as a whole. And we really are all in this together. It really is. When Aaron and I in the chamber and we talk about economic development and how we have to be a team together. And our community this year supported us with that facility referendum for the safety point of entrances for each of our buildings. That passed by 71% and was the largest in that referendum series in the state, supporting that high percentage of people supporting. So yeah, we're truly blessed to be in a great community that's so supportive. And I just wanted to say thanks, on behalf of the school district, our board, administration, teachers, and staff, that it's a great privilege to work with our kids here and our staff in Waupaca.
We've got some other pretty cool news we'll talk about at the end of today's segment in relation to the school. Some pretty big news. There's some other good news too. You speak about summer school starting, and the school district will be offering free summer meals to students, whether they're going to summer school or just want to pop in and get one. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, the federal government is sponsoring meals at no charge to students this summer. So our food service department is working hard to spread that word around. Free summer meals, which includes breakfast and lunch. This will take place at the WLC. And even if your child isn't enrolled in summer school, as long as they're a student, they can come and get those free meals at no cost. So yeah, that's a nice thing for families.
Very cool. We'll jump over to Aaron, and we've kind of got this conflict going. It's the time of year where you want to be mindful when you water your lawn, water conservation, and there's times of day that it's more effective and less effective, and the city's got an ordinance with that. And then there's no mow May. And now that that's done, and that's to help the bees and all that, now that's done and we're into June, people need to cut their grass, but it's not raining, so maybe you don't need to cut the grass, but you want to be careful how you water it. Why don't you speak about all that? We're just kind of in a conundrum with all that right now.
We are, and we do talk about this every year at this time, but I want to mention something that I saw last week that was just kind of shocking to me. And it doesn't impact us here now, but it's a good reminder on how things can happen. I read an article that the state of Arizona put a moratorium on new housing developments in the Phoenix area because they do not have enough groundwater to support all the demand there, which is just wild to think about that actually happened. We always think of ourselves in a little bit of a safe haven up here in Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan from some of those impacts. But it's still important. And over time, obviously, you can see the impacts. So why not pay attention to it now? So we're talking water conservation, unattended water. So watering some of your lawn, which I'm kind of doing right now. I got to make sure I follow our rules as well. Really not supposed to have that unattended kind of sprinkling of the lawns and things from noon to 7 p.m. Try to do it at night or in the morning. Actually makes the most sense anyway, because when it's hot during the day, most of it evaporates and you're probably not accomplishing all you want to accomplish. So it's the best time for what you're trying to do. And then also that doesn't really count like handheld, if you're going to water flowers or if you have a small patch you're trying to do with a hose, you can do that whenever, but just don't let the sprinkler run all day. As far as the lawn length, we have an ordinance that says it can't get above 12 inches. 12 inches is pretty high. We'd encourage you to cut it before it gets that long. But if it does get that long, the city does have the ability to come give a notice and then actually cut it and charge for that because it's considered a nuisance. So please help us by keeping your lawns mowed as often as you can. I think that's about it on those two topics, Josh.
And then we're going to jump right into the library exhibit room. Has a brand new exhibit on display.
Yeah, this is also kind of talking about graphs.
Going right into prayers.
Yes. So they have I was down there last week talking with Sue Abrahamson, our youth librarian, and she took me into the exhibit room there, and they have a really interesting display. There's great photography all over. And the photography it's a study of a gentleman in Nebraska did an observation of 1 square meter of land in Nebraska for 1 year. And what he found over that year is pretty astounding. I'm going to get the number wrong, but it was over 100, I'll say 113 different types of species that used that 1 square meter of land, and he documented all of them. And it's just the photography's awesome. It's very interesting. So go down and check it out. There's also some information on solar energy and kind of where that's coming. And so it's a neat one. It'll be up all summer. So
Any Sasquatch pictures?
I think I saw a toe.
A toe.
So jump over to Ron. We've been talking about it on and off for quite a while. You mentioned it at the start of the interview with the referendum, and your single point of entry and parking lot projects to accomplish are getting started as early as next week.
Yeah, we're going to start with school being out and summer school starting on Monday. We're going to start at the high school with all of our parking taking place on the King Road side. So we're no longer going to use the Highway 22 side of the building. The first beginning of the project is that parking lot. Originally, it was going to be taking place on Monday the 12th, but it got pushed, we found out yesterday, to the 19th. So part of it has to do with supply chain and some other things that are having an impact. But we're going to just start the summer by anybody who needs to go to the high school going on using the parking lot on the King Road side. And all summer, anybody that has to get into the high school or the district office, they'll go in through door 14, which is that main entrance by the band area. Where you come in off of the King Road side, that main entrance there. So that's what we'll be doing in that building for the district office and the high school. The middle school, there's going to be construction and remodeling taking place there. Those offices are going to be moved, and students and anybody who will need, students will for summer school, but anybody else needing to get into the building, they'll use door 24. That is the door where the students currently come in and out that main door there. And after summer school ends at noon, midday, from that point on, there'll be a number on the door that if somebody needs to get in, call that number, and the staff will come in and get that visitor at that time. The WLC, they're the main entrance, door number 9. That's the main door that they have, and so that'll be what we'll continue to use, because it's that other side that will be having the addition put on. And at the CEC, the new entrance is not impacting the current front doors. So at the CEC, it'll be same front doors as normal. So if anybody needs to get in, that's how you go to visit those schools.
Okay, well, it's good to see that the progress on the project is moving, and fingers crossed. Al, is it supposed to be done before the start of the school year?
We think that 3 of the buildings will, but the WLC, it's more extensive, and they did talk about some supply chain concerns, and no later than December.
Okay.
Is what we were told yesterday at our Building and Grounds Committee by the Bob Brees, who is our point person working with the contractor, who Myron Construction is the contractor that won the bids for all 4 buildings. And they're doing Neenah School District right now. They're just a big organization outside of the Milwaukee area, and we're happy that they are able to do this. We've heard only great things about this company, and our Bob Brees, our point person, he's an engineer, retired, but is helping out our school district, and has a great relationship with Myron and the superintendent of construction and the supervisors that'll be here working on our building. So we're excited about it. And as this happens, hopefully I'll be able to share updates this summer on how it's all going, Josh.
Very good. So we're headed into summer. Park and Rec program registration open for a whole bunch of different programs coming up yet throughout the summer. Aaron?
Yeah. So it's that time of year. We always think of baseball and softball as big summer programs. Really, the registration for those is in the spring, March time period. And now we're kind of on to our second summer program slate, and we're talking a couple new ones. We've got some like disc golf that is up for registration on ActiveNet. Log rolling, which is an interesting one, and should be a lot of fun at South Park. So if you ever watch the lumberjack competitions in Hayward, you learn a little bit about that. Always there's pickleball going on. There's swim lessons is another big one. Youth soccer is another big program. But just I would encourage everyone to go on the Park and Rec website and then go on ActiveNet. If you don't have a login so far, create one. Get your kids involved. There's tons of options. Art classes. I'm sure you can find something that your child or you as an adult would like to get involved in. So encourage everyone to do that.
Well, I alluded earlier, we got some pretty cool news with the school district. You got some pretty good recognition from the Department of Public Instruction.
We do. It's very special news, and it's something that we want everybody to be aware of and understand. Actually, all 4 of our buildings receive special recognition from the DPI. For our multi-level systems of support. So the multi-level systems of support covers 3 areas: behavior, math, and reading. And so the idea is to have a support system in place for our students if they're struggling with behavior, math, or reading. And at the WLC, they've been working on this for 11 years. It started with PBIS, which is Positive Behavior Intervention and Support, focusing on behavior. And over the years, they have gradually implemented a similar type of plan with math and reading. And this year, actually, the DPI contacted John Ersbaumer, our principal, and Joni Pinkritz, our assistant principal at the WLC, and said, hey, you guys have some good stuff going on. We highly encourage you to apply for the Platinum, which is the highest award. So it's kind of unusual where the DPI is encouraging a school to do that, but they knew the work that John and Jody and the staff have put in. And out of almost 570 schools in the state that are receiving recognition, the only one that received Platinum was the WLC. But not only that, they received the Platinum for both behavior, math, and reading. And I don't know if that's ever happened before, but we know right now that they're the only one in the state that got it, and that's kind of neat. And it's really a tribute to the leadership of John and Jody, but at the same time, the leadership of the staff, because they have teams that meet. One week they meet regarding behavior, the next they meet regarding math and reading. And so no student can fall through the crack at the WLC because of the teams that they put together and the systems that they've put together with the guidance of the DPI. So we're very, very excited and happy for that staff and those teams and the work that they're doing. And it's so nice to be able to share these positive things about your schools and your community. School District of Waupaca, a small place across the state, but yet has the best ranking and recognition from the state's DPI.
That's
Ron,
pretty cool.
That is unbelievable news. I mean, I know you mentioned it right before we got on live and we're recording here, and it was, I have a child in kindergarten, a daughter, and then a son in 2nd grade, and they both attend the WLC. They love it. They love going to school every day. Their progress is pretty apparent to my wife and I. And I don't know, I was just super excited to hear that. A, because I have kids in the district at that school. And B, we talk about wanting to be a place that people want to be. Where else would you want to be if you have young kids than the place who received the only platinum grade in the state of Wisconsin? I think it's incredible. And John and Jody are amazing. And I know our kids' teachers are amazing. So congrats to all of you. That's fantastic.
Thanks, Aaron. I appreciate that. And yeah, it's more than that, in my opinion. Getting to know the staff at the WLC, well, across the district, but I'm just right now focusing on the WLC. They truly do care about each and every student, and they take great care of the student, no matter where they are. If they have special needs, if they're gifted, if wherever they are on their learning journey, they are able to customize and meet the needs of those students. And you don't see that in all places across education, but we have a great district, and we can continue to grow like every place, but it's time to celebrate the big successes that we have right now.
Well, congratulations, Ron, to you and your staff and the students for achieving that statewide recognition. That's pretty cool to have that right here.
Yeah, it's them. It's not me. It's them. And well, in a sense, it is everybody in the district, because the Making Learning Visible plan that we are working on across K-12. When I interviewed John and Jody, and this week in my weekly update, I have an interview of a little video talking about this, and John and Jody explaining how they improve these plans for reading improvement and math improvement. And they talked about the work that Making Learning Visible is helping with, because we identified the targets, and now that they have their targets identified and their success criteria identified, the common assessments identified, they're able to better track the progress of kids. And because of the work we've been doing for the last 5 years before I came, that's really helped put them over the top on their work. So yeah, it's a collaboration of a lot of people across the district. So thank you.
Ron, Aaron, appreciate the time to get the community up to date. Lots of good news in this week's interview, and we will talk again soon.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you, Josh.